Hi there, how you doing? And welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Welcome to the confession box, where we talk about people's dirty little secrets. My name is Jessica. So today we dive into a message that came in from a young man who knows a friend who's getting married to someone. We'll jump into that right after this. All right, welcome back. So let me jump into the message I received here, and I'll just read it straight off my phone. And it says, I just saw a pre-wedding picture of an old friend of mine getting married next week. And the problem is the girl is a prostitute. And this is a girl I personally know. And I've confirmed it from her herself that she's still into prostitution. I think some women can be really wicked. The girl doesn't know that I know the guy that she's getting married to next week. Should I tell him or leave it? It can happen to me, and a brother might also end up helping me. I need help, Jess. Tell me what to do. All right, so that's a pretty interesting message there, pretty straight to the point. Gentlemen, I've got 5 questions for you, but before I jump into that, let me say that in the confession box we're crowdsourcing opinions, okay? So I'm not just going to be the one giving advice on how this gentleman should proceed to deal with this issue. I'm hoping that you can leave your own advice in the comments below. Okay, let's do this together. Okay, this is not just Jess, but if you found yourself in that situation, what will you do? Drop a comment in the comment section below. All right, now I've got 5 questions for this gentleman. First and foremost, how long have you been friends for? Okay. Now, the reason I ask that is if this is a lifelong friend that you've built a really good friendship with over the years, possibly your family knows each other, you guys have mutual connections, you've done stuff in the past, you have your own personal history going, then it'll be harder for you to look the other way and watch him marry a woman who is clearly still into prostitution. And for me, this is no judgment here. What people choose to do with their lives is their problem. But my biggest question is, does this gentleman actually know that, basically she's a hooker? If he doesn't, then maybe you'll be in a position to tell him. So that's number 1. The second question I'll ask the person who sent me this message is, have you ever been involved with her? Now, I ask this more coming from an angle of, do you have firsthand proof? Are you just going with hearsay? And I'm curious to know how exactly you managed to get her to confirm that herself, that, basically she's still into prostitution, because the way you investigated it also counts, okay? Are you still, and I'm assuming that maybe you've been with her, are you still sleeping with her? And is this someone who you're a regular customer to? If you are, then that's going to get really, really tricky, okay? But if you have nothing to do with this woman, then yes, that is a good thing. And I'll come back to you and give you my judgment at the end of this video. My third question for you, dear messenger or texter or emailer, is what kind of personality does your friend have? Now, is he the kind of guy who is open to receive information from people? Because there's some people who just don't want you to, get into their business. They've decided that, listen, I'm taking this girl down the altar and it doesn't matter what she's done. I'm willing to forgive her past. So don't come and tell me who I should and shouldn't marry, right? There's some guys who are very standoffish. Don't talk about my business. My business is my business. Mind your own, right? Or is this a guy who's open and will really listen to you because you guys have that friendship and that history together? Does your opinion carry any kind of weight where he's concerned? Any kind of weight? If it does, then that's also a good thing. Number 4, is there a chance that he already knows? Now, you don't want to go ahead and be nosy Parker in front of your friend, okay? Like this guy who just seems to be the town gossip, right? He already probably knows that his wife-to-be is into prostitution. For all you know, she spun him an elaborate lie about how, yeah, that was her past and she's never going to do it again. And you're not privy to their intimate conversations. Okay. And so if you jump the gun in this instance and go and tell, go and tell him, you most likely would get in Ghana what they call a black eye. Like basically he's going to tell you, hey, you're not telling me something I don't already know. I know. And she says she's stopped that kind of life and she wants to be with me now. And then you'll be the one walking away, you know, ashamed, so to speak. And finally, my fifth question will be, take a look at the whole scenario of your friend getting married to a prostitute. Will this information matter in 5 years? If you ask me, it will. Yeah. Some 5 years down the line, when you have kids together and your kids start going to the same school as her former or current clients, because obviously she's still sleeping around for work while she's with you, or she may have even stopped, but these guys will never forget her, because obviously I'm guessing if, you know, this guy is taking her down the aisle, then she must be portraying some kind of, I wouldn't say holier than thou, but at least she's portraying something that's good enough for a man to want to walk her down the aisle, right? Maybe she's a hottie, physically attractive, and so he thinks like he's got this whole trophy going on. Will it matter in 5 years? It definitely will. Your kids are going to get his kids are going to get teased. It might impact their relationship when he finally finds out. And here's the other thing. He may never forgive you for knowing what you knew and not telling him, especially if you plan on telling him in the future, right? And then some way, somehow he figures out that you knew this and you watched him go down the aisle with this lady. Okay. So now that I've listed all these 5 questions and my, you know, just my thought processes where they're concerned, what would I do if I were you? If I were you, I would tell my friend. I would rather tell my friend and come across as a nosy person than not say anything at all, you know, and watch him go down the aisle with this woman who, you know, he may not know as well as he thinks he does. And for me, the most important part also is the fact that you say, and assuming what you said is true, you say that you've confirmed that she continues to engage in her profession. I'm not sure any sane, quote unquote, guy would go for a woman who is a sex worker. I don't think any sane guy will knowingly go for a woman who's a sex worker. So that's a big red flag for me that he might be in the dark. If you are the friend you claim you are, then you should absolutely 100% tell your friend before he goes down the aisle and locks himself in for life. Well, maybe not for life. After all, they can divorce. But don't forget, divorce is also expensive. Okay? Now, that's it from me. In our confession box, if you're out there and you have questions you'd like to throw my way, I'm going to pretty much select a few. Just send it to the email on the screen right now. And yeah, I'll see you there. Let the title be Confessions. And we'll be back with another video sometime really soon. My name is Jessica. If you like the video, don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on all notifications so you get a notification every single time I post. And let me know if you like this content so I create more of such.